Hey, hello everyone. This is Mrs. Wallace again, and we are looking at how to format this first page of a MLA formatted paper. And we talked about what's required in MLA formatting just in the previous video. And I just wanted to screen share with you the actual Microsoft Word document and how to set this up. So here we are on just a brand new blank document. Of course, when you started to type in a paper, you would also hit save as, and you would go ahead and save your document as something other than document. But besides that, what we'll do to get started here is the first thing you want to do is to make sure that your paper is in double spacing format. Just to start with, before you even type anything, what we'll do is set up a few of the details here. So we want to make sure that your paper is in double space format. We look at the home button. If you're in file and we go back to, there's different buttons on top, but you want to be in the home button. You go to paragraph, and you want to make sure that your line spacing is in double spacing. Some of you may still have it on single or 1.5 lines. You want to make sure it's double. If you want to default your paper in Microsoft Word so that every time you open a new document you have double space, you can also click that Set as Default button. So that may also be something you might want to do after watching this video. But anyway, you do make sure it's in double space. You hit OK. The other thing you want to kind of adjust for is the font and the size. Remember, Times New Roman is the really standard MLA font, and 12 point is the standard size font. So unfortunately with MLA formatting, we don't want anything fancy. We don't want color. We don't want, everything's really plain and simple here. But Times New Roman is the standard. Sometimes you'll see some other fonts used, but for all intentional purposes, we'll use Times New Roman and 12-point font for sure. Now to set up the actual page, you'll see where the cursor is flashing here. The first thing you'll want to do is type in your name, your first and last name, of course. When you hit enter, it goes already down a double space. You'll want to put in your teacher's name. So I'll just put Mrs. Wallace. If you have me, of course, whoever your teacher is, you'd put there. And you'd also put the title of the course name that you're in. So for us, it would be English 9. And enter, and then you would put the date in. You hit enter again. And what you'd want to do, just so you're just hitting enter once from the date to the next line down, you're going to want to add a specific title. But the title does need to be centered. So what you need to do is go up to the top here. Instead of left alignment, you need to go to center alignment, and that moves the cursor over to the center. And then you'll type in a specific title. So make sure you're, thinking back to what specific title you want it to be, not just like, Unit 4 portfolio or whatever. It has to be a specific title. And then you hit enter again. And you're only one line down, right? Well, you have to get back to the left side in order to start your introduction paragraph. So you'd go back to left alignment, and that takes you right back over to the left-hand side over here. And this is where you would start to type in your introductory paragraph. No matter what your paper is about, you'll have an introductory paragraph of some sort. And every time you start a new paragraph, whether it's the introductory one or the body paragraphs or the conclusion, you'll always want to do what? You'll always want to indent, right? And you do that by hitting the tab key. So I'm just hitting the tab key, and it takes it over exactly the space that it needs to be for indentation. So this is where you'll start typing. I'm just going to do this for now so we can see how it wraps around. Okay, so you can see how I typed that. I didn't have to hit enter at the end. It just wrapped it right around because all the spacing is set up correctly. It's double spacing, Times New Roman font, 12-point font. There's one last thing to get your front page sorted out to have proper MLA formatting, and that's to add a header. And that happens right at the tippy top of the page. What you want to do is take your cursor up to the tippy top of the page and double click. And header comes out with these dotted lines. So see how it's flashing up top, and there's a header button that came out. The easiest way to do this is you have to have your last name and page number in the upper right hand corner. So I think the easiest way is to actually use the page number under header and footer to actually insert a page number right here. Add page number, click on that, and go to top of the page, and then it gives you some outlines of different styles. I would go to plain number 3 because that shows the number on the right hand side, and you just click on that, seeing how it's inserted a number 1. You can put your last name here, and you can just simply type it in right in front of the 1 and then give it a little space there. And to be finished with that header, you just double click somewhere below the dotted line, and it puts it in there sort of in a lighter color. What's nice about the header then with your last name and page number is when you type more and you have a second page, it's going to automatically have your last name and page too. You don't have to keep putting that in there. So just make sure that that's in the header by clicking the top, double click in the dotted line. To get out of it, double click the line above. Things I've seen students do recently, or in the past, sometimes they're trying to put all of this part in your header, and that's not in the actual header section. This is just the top of the regular page, if that makes sense. Okay, well, hopefully this would be very helpful for you, and you should probably practice this with your next portfolio for English, and definitely when we do the research paper. Okay, thank you very much.